second video in our series of National Entrepreneurship Week virtual fireside chats with SEC Acting Chair Allison Herron-Lee. I'm Martha Legg-Miller, Director of the SEC's Office of the Advocate for Small Business Capital Formation. Acting Chair Lee, you've talked before about how you view the relationship between small businesses and investors, saying that while we think of these two as separate groups, in reality, they often are not. Many entrepreneurs who have founded companies go on to become investors, providing strategic guidance to new entrepreneurs with the perspective of having walked in their shoes. Can you share your views on how entrepreneurs can make their partnership with investors as productive as possible, and in particular, the important role that disclosure plays for both parties?
Sure, of course, and thank you for having me, Martha. It's a pleasure. I do think it's important to understand that investors and business owners are not two completely separate and independent groups with no shared interests. I mean, investing fundamentally relies on the notion of alignment of interest between businesses and their investors. And in reality, many investors are small business owners and vice versa. So first, facilitating capital raising is crucial to ensuring opportunities for investors, and investor protection is critical to ensuring opportunities for businesses. And disclosure is where business owners and investors come together, right? That's where the two sides of the equation meet and make sure they're on the same page. So high-quality financial information and other disclosure is an opportunity for businesses to make their case to investors and explain the opportunities that await them. And for investors, it's a chance to understand those opportunities and also to understand the associated risks and to assess whether they're the right investor for those particular opportunities. So disclosure and other communication between entrepreneurs and investors is a critical juncture. It's really the heart of the partnership in the beginning and going forward. And it's critical for small business owners to understand what their disclosure obligations are in their different capital raising opportunities. And in that regard, clarity in our rules and strong outreach efforts by the SEC are very important for both business owners and investors. So I want to thank you and your team, Martha, for your efforts on that. And let me just add one final note, and that is that the process of formulating high-quality disclosure can also be very beneficial to businesses. In understanding what's important to investors, business owners can gain a deeper understanding of their own businesses and its potential for success.
Absolutely, Acting Chair Lee, and that mirrors my experience as well, working on the side of helping prep those disclosures and learning something. I encourage those who are interested in more resources. Our Acting Chair plugged some of the events and outreach. Visit investor.gov if you have any questions about investment materials and understanding those as an investor and as a company. If you have questions, visit sec.gov/smallbusiness to take a look at some resources and opportunities to engage with us. Thank you.
Thank you.